This program is brought to you by First National Bank of Botswana.
You can imagine if there's any water leakage upstairs, that the whole second floor, the ground floor had to be affected, and that was a career-ending hurdle for us. And we had to plead with the client, and we helped how we could help, and we fixed everything at a cost.
Good evening and welcome to First Issues, where we explore enterprises that are helping shape our nation's economic landscape. Today we shine a spotlight on KED Interiors, a company that is not just designing spaces, but also redefining how we live and work. What makes KED Interiors a compelling subject of conversation is its local focus and its contribution to the national economy. By specializing in custom, locally made furniture, they are championing Botswana's design talent and resources. Kevin Saseng is the mastermind behind KED Interiors after pursuing a bachelor's degree in interior architecture from the Limco Queen University of Creative Technology. After a short stint working at a local interior design company, Kevin thought it wise to become an entrepreneur, and thus the birth of KED Interiors. In a market that is focused on fast-paced trends, KED Interiors stands out by embracing a philosophy that is centered on elegance, functionality, and timeless design. The company specializes in bespoke interior design and custom-made furniture, transforming homes and businesses into personalized havens. Our conversation with Kevin aims to unpack his reasons for being an entrepreneur, his goals for the future, some of the hurdles he's encountered, and what keeps him going in spite of them.
KED Interiors is an interior design company. We started operating in 2016, basically doing the services under interior design. Most people call it internal construction, where we design and do implement the work that we design for corporate spaces, residential spaces, and then retail. I'm an interior architect myself. I've got an honors degree in interior architecture, so it's long started as a passion that I think drawing and being creative, being me, myself, and having that kind of influence around the country, I put it down into some form of architecture, art and architecture. So into built environment, we then started decorating, doing construction in an artistic form.
Let us talk about the achievements thus far, right? You've been in existence since 2016. This is your 9th year, almost going on 10. Yeah. So are there any notable, quantifiable successes, achievements, accomplishments that you could share with our viewers?
I think the achievement that we praise a lot, it's the existence and the love that we get from our nation. We've done quite a lot of projects, even donating across the country. For this past 9 years, it was just about consistency in our craftsmanship, and then we made sure that we collect resources that will help us be better and competitive as time goes on. I think we have a beautiful office. We've got a beautiful workshop. We've got vehicles. We've got machinery that helps us to implement whatever it is, whatever project that we come across, and at the higher 100% standard the way it's supposed to be.
Do you think that there's something that a lot of new entrepreneurs into this space, like the entrepreneurship space, get wrong about entrepreneurship as a career that you have had to find out when you were inside, like in the thick of things?
Entrepreneurship is quite a difficult thing that you can bring into your life. It needs a lot of patience. You need to be very patient and know that you're only going to reap that seed after after some time. We mostly put a 5-year mark that basically where trials and hurdles and everything that you have to go through. But a lot of people within this period of time, that's where they see so many hurdles and they become discouraged.
What specific challenges and possibly even detrimental ones have you had to go through that, had you not, you would not be here today? And how did you overcome them?
We've had a project in 2017, just a year after we started. I remember we were working late at night. We were at least 90% in completion. And our plumber was working overnight. We had done carpeting, we had done partitioning, furniture and everything. And then we left our plumber at site during the night. And then I think he was working and there was no water at that time. I think there was the whole area. Yeah. So he then worked up until late and then he knocked off. In the morning, I received a call, 6 a.m., that the whole complex is flooded. And this office was on the upper floor, like a 3rd floor. You can imagine if there's any water leakage upstairs, that the whole 2nd floor, the ground floor had to be affected. And that was a career-ending hurdle for us. And we had to plea with the client, and we helped how we could help, and we fixed everything at a cost.
What are your plans for the future as an entrepreneur, as both an entrepreneur and somebody who is running KED Interiors?
We would like to branch out across the country and probably jump in the market in South Africa, where we've been really reading the market and checking if we will be able to fit in. But we would like to have another branch in Francistown, Maung, and Palape.
Kevin Saseng is the epitome of resilience, even in the face of struggle, displaying in real time that if you stay the course, success is guaranteed. The type of perseverance and determination that all entrepreneurs need to possess. We will see you shortly after commercial break. Stay tuned to First Issues.
bitsa motho gore motho a leke mangwala go duela metsi.
Mama, ka rama le jana ha o tlhoka le go tsamela kgakala gore go duela metsi. FNB re diretse tiro motho.
Senthe.
Ma kwa go marekisetsong a ile gore ana le tshwao la FNB Cash Plus. Se se tlhokanyela ke o mangwa ga go mo tirisong le reference number e bon dinomoro tse di diriswang go ruragatsa dituelo tsa gago.
FNB what?
FNB Cash Plus.
Madonna makante ke ngonto sampolele ka mananeo a FNB ya Cash Plus.
La ha re le nna ke gone go utwang ka dona ebile ke ne ke sa dumele.
Deposit cash and coins, withdraw from e-wallet, make cardless cash withdrawals, buy prepaid airtime and electricity, pay bills such as water, electricity and many more.
FNB. Dona. Nyawa ene ke ra sa thare. Mpare mo tiki. Na ke ra go mothotho ya la mamarapedi. O tola skontere hela. O bua go semosong wa go duela semosong. Manane wa FNB Cash Plus.
FNB, how can we help you?
Welcome back to First Issues. This is the second segment of the program, where challenges and strife are the focal point of our conversation. Previously, we had a sit-down conversation with Dr. Carolyn Gasefete at Kana Lifestyle Center. Dr. Gasefete is a doctor in natural medicine whose teachable spirit led her to starting her practice after the teachings of her church.
I got into this space because I realized there was a gap in holistic wellness in Botswana, especially. Mostly people knew natural or traditional healing style in Botswana. So I realized that there was a gap in that many people did not understand holistic wellness from a formally trained perspective. So I decided to fill that gap.
She places her successes on seeing patients who battled with chronic illnesses report an improvement in their health, women suffering with infertility showing her healthy offspring, and being recognized regionally as influential stakeholders in their fields of practice. This, however, does not come on a silver platter. It is wrestling with all manner of hurdles and challenges and clawing out of that abyss and finding a way to keep going. On this segment, we find out from Dr. Gasefete about the challenges she had to wrestle with and how she was able to overcome them.
Every journey really comes with its ups and downs, and we've spoken about the ups. Are you able to share with us now the downs, the challenges, the hurdles, the pain points, the struggles that the company and yourself as an entrepreneur continue to go through?
It is not all smooth when you become an entrepreneur. Sometimes you wake up and you think, I'm going to start a company and tomorrow I'll be a billionaire and what. So it doesn't necessarily happen like that. There's a lot of hard work that has to be put in it. There are a lot of disappointments that you have to meet as a person, financial constraints. Those are some of the things that we have gone through, things that have hit us hard. Systems here in Botswana also, like I said, are not that accommodating, so that makes especially holistic health or naturopathic entrepreneurship difficult. You try to register these natural medicines and the systems will be like you take 2 years to register one medication. So the processes really have not been accommodating. If systems could change to down-regulate certain stuff for the benefit of the people in the country, it would be helpful from our perspective.
It seems like the constraints of trying to work and actually enterprise in this space are quite tedious, tiresome, and cumbersome. So then why do you keep doing what you do in spite of all of these struggles?
For me, helping and changing the life of a person is more like a calling. It's like what God has called me to do. To alleviate human suffering, to fill in the gap as much as I can. So I believe I'm here to make a difference. That is why I have not given up. There are times that I have contemplated packing my stuff and going to practice in South Africa, but then I have said, I have a people here in Botswana who need me. So you cannot go and help a population of people that are not yours. So I have found myself struggling and continuing to go on for the sake of my people.
Those are quite some words, but if you were to find yourself then surrounded by a group of people who wanted to take a gander at entrepreneurship, what words of wisdom would you share with them?
I would advise them not to give up. If you have a dream, you have to live it. And life was never meant to be easy. Nothing was ever meant to be easy. I mean, even in the Bible, it says, thou shalt eat the sweat of your brow, isn't it? So you have to sweat it out and make sure that your dreams come true. You have to hold on. I am seeing a lot of businesses in Botswana closing currently because of the difficult situations. My advice would be you should keep on going, because you don't know when things will get better for you. Maybe things are just about to turn around for you, and then you give in the towel. So my advice would be, entrepreneurship helps you to grow as a person. It changes you. It makes you a different type of person. So keep growing, keep learning in the process. So do not give up.
Dr. Gasefete says that she has learned to embrace challenges as portals to a newer, more refined entrepreneur who has placed it on herself to be successful no matter what may come her way. And that brings us to the end of this segment. See you after commercials.
Ta bitsa motho gore motho a leke mangwala go duela metsi.
Mama, kana male jana ha o tlhoka le go tsamela kgakala gore go duela metsi. FNB re diretse tiro motho.
Senthe.
Ma kwa go marekisetsong a ile gore ana le tshwala FNB Cash Plus. Se se tlhokanyela ke o mang wa gago mo tirisong le reference number e bong dinomoro tse diriswang go ruragatsa dituelo tsa gago.
FNB what?
FNB Cash Plus.
Madonna makante ke mo ntse samplele ka mananeo a FNB ya Cash Plus.
La ha re le nna ke gone go utang ka dona ebile ke be ke sa dumele.
Deposit cash and coins, withdraw from e-wallet, make cardless cash withdrawals, buy prepaid airtime and electricity, pay bills such as water, electricity and many more.
FNB.
Dona. Nyawa ene ke ra sa thare. Mpare mo tiki. Na ke ra go motho go thoela mamarapedi. O tola skontere hela. O bua go semosong wa go duela semosong. Manane wa FNB Cash Plus.
FNB, how can we help you?
Welcome back to First Issues. On this here segment, we address challenges that entrepreneurs face in being the change makers, addressing the employment crisis, and being key economic players in Botswana. Tonight, we are talking about a tool that's both a blessing and a curse for modern business owners, social media. While it offers incredible reach, it also comes with some downsides that can impact an entrepreneur's bottom line and well-being. Social media often creates an always-on culture that can lead to digital burnout. In this instance, entrepreneurs feel the constant pressure to always post, engage, and maintain a perfect online image. This isn't just about work. It's about a relentless demand for visibility. What you often see on your feed is a highlight reel of success, which can lead to social comparison. This can make even the most successful business owner feel like a failure, leading to imposter syndrome and self-doubt. The constant need for validation can be mentally exhausting. How then can these challenges be addressed without taking away from the positive impact of social media, especially for entrepreneurs in the digital age? We have this conversation with pharmacologist and consultant cardiologist, Dr. Carolyn Gasefete.
Social media tends or is all about the curated, seemingly picture-perfect posts, right? And it's very luxurious looking, right? But how does that affect how we see ourselves as those people who are not having what we see on social media?
It's watching a movie of someone's best moments, where they look flawless, and then we've all seen those Instagram and Facebook pictures, those perfect snapshots, if you like, and then we start to compare ourselves. It drops your self-esteem, and forgetting that these are really literally snapshots of somebody else's life, and they've created this image to make you think this is how they live their normal life. And trust me, it's not. It's important to remember that what we see online is a small, carefully chosen part of a particular person's or individual's life.
How then do we go about fixing this problem so that social media is not the monster that it is becoming, and actually something that we can use to help us cope with everyday life so that we are mentally healthy?
It's important to understand that there is a positive aspect to this, but I think it's also important to lay down lines and rules where you know that you do a detox, where you say that I'm going to have no communication on my phone for certain hours of the day or certain hours at night. You need some sort of sleep hygiene in terms of your digital detox. Spend perhaps weekends where you're without a phone. Those who cannot spend even an hour without their phone are really addicted to their phone. If they get irritable, they get listless, they can't sit alone and do nothing. So this is really what we call about when we refer to the addiction to social media or to the technology in their pocket.
So looking ahead, we're in 2025 and social media is constantly evolving. What key message do you think people should keep in mind as far as social media's impact on their mental health?
I think the key message is to do some detox every now and again. The key message is to know that this is a tool, and tools can be used for good and for bad, and to begin to recognize in oneself that I'm spending too much on the phone. I'm not actually, when was the last time I spoke to Granny? When was the last time I actually had a conversation face to face? I think the 2025 is for you to be able to recognize that you're just doing too much of this image-based, social-based technology, and to spend some time out in nature, out with people, out with friends, communities, with hobbies, with exercise. There are many other things to life that I think some of our younger population are missing out on.
As important a tool as social media is, as an entrepreneur, you need to be careful not to fall prey to its negative influence, as advised by Dr. Baggett. This program was proudly brought to you by First National Bank of Botswana.